It's a disgrace. That's what it is.
I know.
I mean, you guys are privileged. You see that, right?
Sure.
No, not sure. And out the door, you give me the finger, you get halfway down the hall. I want you to know them because it's true. Not because some dude, I mean, this time me, but it could be anybody. Because some man says that it's right. You know, I could have held back on this, just blown it off, because I got a flight to catch tomorrow. Let you figure out life all in your little lonesome. I think I would have been doing you a disservice. I really do. So, and I'm not bullshitting you here. Cherish this. Look, all I want to say is that you boys are sitting in the driver's seat. You can make whatever you want to happen. It's that easy. I mean, you're in with this company. But you're screwing around, chasing each other in the break room, hanging out with a bunch of guys from shipping. I mean, where's your head, huh? Offering you a chance here, Keith. Keith, right?
Yeah, Keith.
Keith or Keith?
Keith.
Which?
Keith.
Well, you ought to know. Yeah, Howard will be back in about an hour. I'll take him. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm just rolling out the opportunity for you to hang with the money people. Don't screw this up, Keith. I mean, I'll look at you guys sometimes, interns were given on a project. I mean, I'll wonder to myself, you got the balls for this? Right? I can't help but think it.
I do.
Yeah?
Yes. Ask anybody.
Let me give you a professional tip. The word is ask. Okay? You want a job like mine? One day, sitting back in part of a show such as this one? The ring is just dangling right there. And you've come this far. You just gotta grab it. But you need the big brass ones for the task. Now you say that you've got them.
Yeah.
Enough to handle a pressure cooker like this?
Uh-huh.
Fine. Let's see him then.
Praise the Lord for bringing us this generous bounty.
Just give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Wait. I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Living flesh.
I guess that's about 50 pieces of meat, huh?
Looks like meat. Back on the menu.
That's why I'm hungry. Each word I say, farther into a radical hypnotized. No secret is to me. No secret on
I'd buy that for $1.
Not that for me, please. I'm trying to get back.
Oh, look at me! I'm another
You seem easily upset.
I'm so fucking hungry, Bill. I'm so hungry. I never knew anyone could be so hungry.
What about that time I found you naked with that bowl of jelly? Hello, folks. This is the Beef Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Gary Hill. Well, yeah, I got a co-host this time, but my regular hosts are not here. Hiatus and elsewhere because it's Friday night, and I'm in good company. I gotta say, and this man. Well, you should know this man. He is the hardest working man in podcasting, the always impossible funky leader, proprietor, editor, complaint department of the Projection Booth podcast, Mr. Mike White. How you doing, sir?
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Gary.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's been a while, but I'm always glad we take the time, and I know you're very busy, man, with your 7 or 8 podcasts by now that you do with people. It just yeah, I thank you, my friend.
Oh, yeah. It is always such a pleasure to talk with you. So, yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Mike brought some heat to this show, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. And some toxic dudes, if you will.
Yes.
It's just
Toxic masculinity before the term toxic masculinity was even coined, I believe.
it's just oozing from these damn films, and
Oof.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wish a woman was on this show, just to like, hey, yeah, let's talk about it. And that's Duchess. She's a third member of this program, bugging me right now, but it is what it is. But I'll start the show the same way I always start the show, and I ask you, what you been watching lately, sir?
Oh, well, of course, watching a lot of movies for the various shows. You mentioned that I do quite a bunch, so definitely out there checking that out. Haven't really gone to the movies too much recently. It's been mostly stuff at home. I think the last movie I saw out was Falcon, Captain America. Sorry, Captain America. He's not the Falcon anymore. Captain America: Brave New World. And then, yeah, just around the house. Other than, of course, the stuff for the podcast, one of the things I've watched recently was a movie called The Good Fairy from 35, a William Wyler film, which I absolutely love. If you haven't seen that, I can't recommend it strongly enough. And then, yeah, the other night I watched, for my sins, I watched a Minecraft movie, as if there's going to be more than one Minecraft movie. So screw me, right?
Well, it's it's an odd one because it's Jared Hess film, right? The
Yeah.
guy, right? Yeah. And I usually enjoy his stuff, and I have not watched this yet, but I'm sort of looking forward to watching it because I love the odd things that he does in films with his brother and with Gentlemen Broncos is an underrated film in my opinion because it just gets wild and stupid for no reason at all, and I just love that kind of odd stuff like that. And this one, I don't play the video game, but it looked like fun to me as far as the preview goes. I just couldn't tell you. I haven't seen this. I couldn't tell you if I had fun with it or not. To say I like the idea of Jason Momoa and Jack Black together, but I couldn't tell you if that's true or not. You know?
Well, it's really weird because they set up the Jason Momoa character to be very similar to what's that guy's name? Billy Mitchell, the guy who was the villain in King of Kong, that documentary about the Donkey Kong competition. Who I
Yeah.
think Peter Dinklage kind of plays that character in Pixels. And there's a lot of stuff in a Minecraft movie that reminds me of Pixels. But it was very interesting because the version of a Minecraft movie I watched was 100% a bootleg, and it was a leaked version of a early, like a working copy of it. So like you see green all around everybody's hair or like blue in the background. Like there's a part where this computer dog is licking Jack Black's face, and basically the dog's head does not move, like it doesn't open, the mouth doesn't open, and it's just him kind of reacting to it, and the dog is covering up half of his body because of the way that it was matted. And even like there's a main villain who's a like a pig lady, and her mouth never moves whatsoever, and I'm just like, oh, they're going to animate all that lip flap in like later on. But the version I saw, she just stands there with a solid cube head, and you hear the woman from like Thor Ragnarok and Hunt for the Wilder People, you hear her voice coming out of this mouth, but you're like, she's not moving her mouth. This is kind of strange. So I'm like, it took me a long time before I realized I was watching a work print of it.
Yeah, my buddy told me about this work print. He's a big, connoisseur of that kind of stuff, and I was kind of looking forward to watching it that way because I remember when Wolverine Origins came out.
Oh God, that was great.
Before that came out, that work print with the unfinished effects was way more entertaining than the actual film itself.
That's the only movie version I've ever seen, is that work print one with like the horrible like gray version of Logan rolling over that like truck and stuff.
Yes. And I love Liev Schreiber in that movie. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I've seen both versions as far as like the finished version of that version, but I'd imagine it's more of the same of that Minecraft work printed and like I said, it might make it more entertaining.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think it was. I think it was honestly more entertaining that way. And I definitely think that with the Wolverine as well. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Liev Schreiber is just freaking fantastic. I love him in anything. I really always loved him in one movie that I don't think gets enough credit called Some of All Fears, that Tom Clancy Jack Ryan film with Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan. I think that's one of the better ones out there. Like for me, it's like Alec Baldwin, Ben Affleck, and then John, what's his name, Krasinski or whatever that guy's name is from The Office, and then Harrison Ford. And it's really tough putting Harrison Ford in last place in a Jack Ryan off, even though I guess Chris Pine is also in there at some point. And yeah, just fuck that movie. That one doesn't really even feel like it counts to me.
yeah, I remember seeing it. I couldn't tell you, but he's one of those actors that I enjoy most things that he's in, except for the Scream franchise. I'm really relieved when he dies in those movies. But you know, um, Ray Donovan,
Oh yeah.
the Goon movies. I enjoy the Goon movies quite a bit. He's great in those movies. He just he just keep the gift that keeps on giving and things. I even watched that the movie that about the guy that begat Rocky, Chuck, what's his name? Where he played that guy in the movie.
Mm.
I think it was just called Chuck, where he played the guy that Rocky's based on.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, but yeah, I love Liev Schreiber. Movie 43 is a film that I shouldn't laugh at intensely, but I laugh at movie 43 intensely, and it's just a lot of crude jokes, and he's one of the best parts of it. Him bullying his teenage son.
I can't
God.
say I've ever watched it all the way through. I think I stop every time at the balls on the chin with Hugh Jackman, and I've never
Yeah,
made it past that.
it is ridiculous. It is. Anything else you watched?
Those were the big ones. I've been watching some TV, so I finally watched all of the Pentaveret, the Mike Myers thing from
Uh,
2022. It only takes me a little while to get to things
no, it's
apparently.
all right. It's all right.
And yeah, and then I'm still watching like new season of Taskmaster is coming out, so I'm excited for that. The Taskmaster Australian version just came out, so I've been in that. And then yeah, waiting to find out who gets crowned the queen of all queens on the latest season of RuPaul's Drag Race. So,
I remember you being a fan of that show. Don't
oh
ask me
yeah,
why, but I remember you being a fan of that show.
still am. Yep.
Um, yeah, the Pentaveret thing, I've been meaning to get to too, but I haven't done it because it's like they made this thing that's based on a joke, a small joke from fucking So I Married an Axe Murderer, and I love that thing. So I'd imagine, this outrageous thing I'm gonna love too,
I
Um,
enjoyed it. Yeah. It gets a little heavy-handed at points because it's basically like the internet ruined everything. And it's like, yeah, no shit. That might have been radical to say in 2022. I don't think so. But in 2025, you're like, yeah, no, everything sucks. So I really can't argue with that there.
New stuff I watched A Working Man, the brand new Jason Statham joint.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I fall into these hook, line, and sinker, and I think now that he hasn't really escaped the Expendables because this is, I think, written and produced by Stallone. This movie,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
but like the Beekeeper. I had a great time with the Beekeeper. I had a great time with this too. It's kind of like a return to form for him, in my opinion, as far as like being the charismatic action star. Although I do like his character in Expendables, but a lot of the other stuff kind of brings it down a bit. But he's in this, and uh, my only real regret with this is it is much like Taken. A girl a daughter of a guy who works for Michael Pena gets kidnapped. He has like years of military training, so he goes after her because he has a good relationship with her, and My only big regret with this is David Harbour's in this, and he plays like his blind ex-army mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish there was more like that scene where they break into his house and he has to go like blind gunman on these on the bad guys. I needed more David Harbour in this movie. That's my only real bitch about it, you know. But besides,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I liked it, but I thought the Beekeeper was way better because it was just so silly, you know.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. It
Oh
was.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Other stuff. TV stuff. You mentioned TV stuff. I started and enjoying the hell out of Mobland on Paramount Plus.
Hmm.
The new Guy Ritchie thing. Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, Tom Hardy, holding it down. It's just Guy Ritchie doing British gangster shit, you know, like you love to watch, and it's violent for all the right reasons, and you know, Helen Mirren is devious as fuck, like you want her, and I love everything about it so far. I'm 3 episodes in, and I want more of it, obviously.
Nice. Nice.
Um, Besides, I've watched a lot of 1983 horror films for my appearance on Land of the Creeps is coming up. So I rewatched some stuff. Warlock the Armageddon, I rewatched that. I have a good time with the first two of those. Um, Andrew Hickok's again. This is a Hickok's double feature. I watched
Oh,
Ticks.
nice.
Oh, you know, Ticks is amazing,
Yeah.
amazing practical effects. People say, "Oh, the acting's not so good." You know, but you have fun with a dumb creature feature like Ticks, and you know, um, and then I watched for the first time ever, Toby Hooper's Night Terrors,
Hmm.
which features, and I love this point of Robert Englund's career where he's just like going full ham, you know, in these roles. He had the Phantom of the Opera thing. He had this where he's playing like the Marquis de Sade, but like amped up to 11, you know, and some other stuff too. But oh, the Mangler is a favorite. It's not a
Oh
good
boy.
movie, but he's just insane in it, and I love that aspect of the Mangler. Not much else, but his craziness in that movie, it elevates it from like a 4 to a 6 for me. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah. 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 No, Hickox is great. What was the company that he worked for a lot? I think you said it.
Oh,
Maybe you didn't say it. Was it like it wasn't Full Moon?
that was a full moon.
Vestron.
Vestron, he worked for Vestron a lot, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff out now on Blu-ray from them. So
Oh yeah. Those Vestron films were something very special.
I think Sundown Vampire in Retreat is one of his, and that's got a nice special edition, and you know, yeah, good stuff, man. But yeah, these 93s, I just started watching a film that I've always seen the box art for, but I couldn't find it even by legal means, so I had to have
Nice.
a dig for it. Skeeter from 1993.
Oh God. Wow.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's got Charles Napier, Michael J. Pollard, William Sanderson, and George Buck Flower in the same movie. So I had to check it out.
Wow.
I had to check it out, man. You know this, Mike. It's
Oh,
crazy.
yes. You get a cast like that, and yeah, you definitely have to check out something like that.
Some fun doing that. I listen to their shows, and their 91 show. They're complaining. I was like, there's like gold in 91. What are you talking about, guys? Come
Right.
on.
Jeez.
But no, I love those guys, and supposed to have Greg and his wife on real soon, and I'm looking forward to that too. Um, Besides that, not a whole lot more new stuff to sing about. I watch stuff for shows too that I can't discuss right now because I record a brand new episode of the In the Parade Way series with John Cross tomorrow. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that'll all be discussed on that show, obviously.
Oh, please give John my best. He's one of the good ones.
I will, man. Reach out, man. He's always looking back, man, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
He just started that, and I'll push this 9 Ways to Sunday, the PM Entertainment podcast. You know,
Oh,
I'm
okay. That's why he was asking me about PM Entertainment. Yeah.
I'm sure he's looking for guests. I'm sure he would love to
Okay.
have you, Mike. You know, um, but that's about it for me. We'll go into the meat of the show now, which is aplenty, if you will, the meatheads in these movies.
Oh boy, yeah.
But Mike gave me a list, and I said, "Give me a list, and I'll pair it with something." And he paired it for me because I was it was hard for me. So we are doing the Men's Club from was this 1970? No, 80 something, right?
86. Like a
86.
great year in cinema, and then the Men's Club.
It should have been made in the 70s. We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Uh, in the Company of Men, Mike, is the other film.
That's correct, yeah.
2001.
Is that right? 2001? Yeah. No, 97.
97. Okay.
We have yet to crack the century mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing those two films, and we'll go in chronological order, I think. With the Men's Club from 1986, and we'll do that right after this trailer.
For every woman who ever loved a man, for every man who ever had a secret.
Sarah and I were arguing 3 months after we were married. Got so there was nothing but pain at home and anger in me.
If I made it with another woman, it would degrade Hannah.
What if you didn't tell her?
She'd get sick.
Thing is, you have to keep a record. I have had 622 women.
Personally, I prefer courtship. There was a woman who used to like to taste my food in restaurants. I went out with her for months. I almost married her.
I understood then the whole problem with our marriage. Sheila doesn't like me.
But I've been sitting here and I've been listening. The stories are obscene.
You don't have to like our stories.
Thank you. I was afraid I had to like them.
Man to man, really talk. Except woman comes along and it's every man for himself. She's waiting for my call. I can feel it. She's waiting for it.
How long has it been since you spoke to her?
5 years.
That's your love story? For me, one woman makes another woman necessary.
Do I remind you of your wife?
Not yet. Complain about something.
You wouldn't be jealous if she made it with another guy.
No, man. I'm liberated.
Oh.
I don't feel anything.
Look, I dislike being analyzed, Kramer. I'm not one of your patients.
I thought you were my friend, huh? Maybe I was wrong about you. Maybe I ought to kick your...
I live only for peak experiences.
This is a wonderful club. This is a wonderful club.
It all begins after they kiss their wives goodnight. The Men's Club.
The Men's Club, 1986. Your cheapo plot synopsis is: men form a discussion group to share feelings about life and women. As the gathering gets wilder, a wife comes home after being kicked out. They want to continue the night. Kind of weak sauce, but thanks IMDb nonetheless. The stars. Maybe you help me out here. What was David Dukes in? David Dukes sounds very familiar to me, but not like in the KKK sense. You know?
Right, I just about made that joke. No, I think I was mixing him up with Daryl Dukes, but yeah, I'm not sure I recognize David Dukes. But everybody else in this one, I think I recognize.
Yeah, a lot of them for sure.
Oh,
Richard Jordan, who you know from if you ever, yeah, Dune, Logan's Run, it's the good shit. Harvey Keitel, from many things. Frank Langella, tons of things. Played Dracula and Skeletor, so there's that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Roy Scheider, who you know from many, many things. Craig Wasson, who you may know less of him, but he's from Nightmare 3 and Body Double, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Body Double.
And
Treat
then
Williams, yeah, late Treat Williams. Stockard Channing, Rizzo herself is in this movie. She gets upset for good reason.
oh yeah.
Fucking morons.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
There's a lot more in here. Oh my god, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I
Yeah.
didn't know her. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, and yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh is kind of the reason why I chose this movie. I had seen that poster with her on it for years. So I actually had written down that one as something, this one, I should say, the Men's Club is something I wanted to see and talk about at some point. And then the other one is one called Hearts of Midnight, which also has a very intriguing Jennifer Jason Leigh poster. It's like I don't know why I forgot just how incredible she looked in the 80s and 90s, and still now she looks great.
Oh yeah.
But just like those two posters really grabbed my attention. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I think I sent both of those with a couple other titles over. You chose the Men's Club. And then when it came to like pairing them up, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I can think of another thing that would go well with the Men's Club after I had seen it, because I had no idea what it was about walking into it. I just knew that poster. That was the only thing that I was going on with this one.
When I see the cast, I was like, and I read the synopsis. I was like, I'm gonna pick this one because I want to look at freaking Roy Scheider and Richard Jordan get randy about shit. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
cast is just amazing. And like you mentioned, Stockard Channing and Jennifer Jason Leigh, and then you've even got like who Ann Wentworth and like Helen what's her name? Supergirl, I think, is in this as well. Like very small role. But yeah, it's the some very, very good actors and actresses in this.
And you know they do a good job too, but yeah, the content is questionable. I love this. You know, I hate to use words locker room talk, but you
Oh
know,
boy.
the plenty in this movie. It's uncomfortable if you're that kind of dude. You know.
Well, yeah, and I'm wondering if this is the whole men's club thing is supposed to be a reaction to like women uniting and having their own support systems and men just feeling left out. This feels very much like the whole men's rights things where it's like, what do you mean men's right? Like you've the patriarchy's been around for a long time. You need a men's rights thing? Is that like straight pride month? Like, come on, man. Like, give it a rest. Like, it's fine to hang out with the boys, but then like when they show what these guys get up to, maybe it is not fine that you hang out with the boys because you all turn into a bunch of meatheads.
Yeah, yeah, and you know it's. I mean, I've been there before, not to this extent before, but you know, you have those friends that you know you talk with it in a certain way, you know, not in mixed company, and these guys in this movie don't really care if they're in mixed company or not. They just talk about whatever they want to talk about, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's 1986. I don't know when the book was written. It feels more like you were saying. It feels like the 70s, and I wouldn't be surprised if the book was written in the 70s.
Mhm. Yeah, this seems like a movie that would be hard to get made as far as like I didn't find much on the history of it or anything, and um fun thing about Mike is when Mike does a show, especially his own show, he provides reference materials. And, you know, he's a very very professional fellow that Mike White. You know, I love him for it. But yeah, I couldn't tell you, but the director of this surprised the hell out of me because this Peter Medak or Medak, how
Mhm.
you pronounce his name? This is the guy that
I
made
usually say Madak, but yeah.
yeah, the guy that made the Changeling and you know stuff like that, and a lot of TV that you'd recognize, and it just seems like an odd film. If you watch this, and you watch The Changeling, it's like two totally different tones. It's like
Oof, yeah.
maybe it's like he was a director for hire or something here because it's that's It's so strange that he did those two things. I don't even know.
Yeah, he was all over the map when it came to what he was doing. I mean, you mentioned the Changeling. Like, well, he was supposed to do figures in a landscape, but I think he got removed from that towards the end. But like, freaking the Craze. But then you've got Zorro the Gay Blade. Romeo's Bleeding, and then Species 2. So it's like, okay, like he's all over the place when it comes to his projects.
Yeah, I just noticed 7 episodes of the '80s Twilight Zone, which is a show that you're on. You guys do that show.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I don't know how he got onto this one. I did look up the book came out in 81, so right there at the tail end of the 70s. And yeah, I was looking to see there weren't a lot of things written about this. There were some reviews, and a lot of times it was so funny because it's like, I don't know why Peter Madak would do this. It's like, I don't know, why not? It was a paycheck. Like I don't know how invested he was in this subject matter, but he was definitely getting paid for it, I hope.
I mean, the subject matter itself is, these guys, they get together, they drink. I wouldn't say, they're having like massive breakthroughs as like therapy or something, but they could get together and they goof off, and they're all different walks of life, which is a big thing about this film that I did enjoy. Like, yeah, even the psychoanalyst can get together with the meathead baseball player, and those guys are the same. When it comes down to the marrow, I kind of like that aspect of not their conversations, but the idea of to say, okay, you know what, this guy could be a fucking massive prick too. Even
Oh
though
yeah.
he's your everyday person who goes out and analyzes other people. That guy's real fucked up in his own sense. So I kind of appreciate that from a guy who probably needs therapy of some kind, but it's sort of against it at the same time to know that these people are flawed too, you know.
Well, so I did read a lot of the book, and the movie is adapted by Leonard Michaels, the guy that wrote the book. So you can imagine it's very similar. Though it's interesting that the book ends basically with the Stockard Channing character coming in and eventually clocking Richard Jordan over the head with the frying pan, and then his whole like how did that make you feel kind of thing, because it's all about psychoanalysis, like you're saying. Like he's kind of the leader of the group. It feels like it's his place that this is all taking place. It has to be because it's his knives, his walls that they're destroying, all the pictures, all the glassware, all this stuff. Such a group of a-holes. I don't know why you would do that to anybody's house, much less your friend. And yeah, so then he disappears from the movie. So like the whole thing of them going to the whorehouse in the second half of the film, that's all completely written for the screen. So that is not part of the book, which I was like, oh, well, that's interesting where you chose to end the book versus where you choose to end the movie. But my God, the book and the movie, it is just like, do you want to do a monologue? Let me give you a monologue. You're going to really enjoy this. And you can chew this sucker up. It may take you 10, 15 minutes to deliver it sometimes, but you got at least 5 solid minutes every time I give you a monologue.
I will say this though, the guys that got for this movie, they're solid actors.
Oh yeah.
So even when they do a monologue and they sound like fucking assholes, you're still listening because it's Frank Langella doing this. With time, I'm not judgy, but I guess there was an incident with him. I don't even recall the logistics of it. Time told on him, I guess. Harvey Keitel doing these monologues, Roy Scheider doing these monologues. So even though they're fucking misogynistic prick bags, you're still listening because you have these
Oh
great
yeah.
doing these monologues.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, the whole movie starts with that really extreme close up of Roy Schneider giving a monologue and then cut to like the reactions from these other guys and their like 2 or 3 lines. It's a very interesting way of introducing these characters, but it's just so much of Roy Scheider's face on screen telling this whole thing before the credits even roll. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you got me. Here's a good story. And it's from a little bit later. It's from when they finally all get together. But a lot of these stories are from when they it's basically like there's a very little bit before you see them all gather at this guy's place. So the things with Langella coming home and finding his apartment empty or his house empty, like you find out about that, but you find out about it later. So, and it's not like you're seeing it before the event starts. It's just very much like, hey, I hear this guy's having people over. Oh, really? Why is he having people over? Well, they're doing this thing. And, it's important for men to get together and stay together and all this kind of stuff. And then the evening starts and you kind of get that same character breakdown as far as like, this guy's a psychiatrist. This guy does this. This guy does this. And I'm like, okay. So, I mean, Leonard like Michaels definitely knew how to take his own work. And I mean, it may not be the most riveting story in the world. There's not that much story. Like I said, it's so monologue heavy, but I mean, it's pretty faithful to the book. And if you didn't want to read the book like I did, go ahead and just watch the movie.
Yeah, the movie itself is very very decent. I did enjoy my time with it. I've had these friends before, and
Oh yeah,
who knows that the men's club would inspire casual axe throwing now amongst men. These are knives in this movie, and again, well, it's so ridiculous. Some of the things you throwing knives at your own dining room door and expecting your wife not to be mad about it. I would like a little more context in there.
Hmm.
But with their relationship, but at the same time, is it really needed if she's not going to clonk him on the head with the frying pan like she does in the book, and that's the end of the book. I mean, he took the time to take that concept and expand it, and do a full fledged film adaptation, which these guys leaving the house. Obviously, if I was the wife, I'd be throwing the fuck out too.
Mm-hmm.
You your friends go out and play somewhere else because you could tell. And she played it real well for the short time you were Stockton Channing in the film. You could tell she was just this frazzled wife that put up with a lot of shit because that was like the end for her. It's like, yeah, you guys got to fucking get out now,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, really, so much of this movie feels like it's a play insofar as like once we get to the party or the get together, the men's club itself, like it's pretty much that location. And then when they go to the whorehouse, it's that location. And
Yep.
it's like, okay, like of course there are rooms inside of the whorehouse, but or sorry, should probably be saying something nicer like brothel or something, but there's all these different rooms in the brothel, and so we have like, oh, here's what Frank Langella is up to, and here's what the Harvey Keitel is up to. His famous "I'm not masturbating" line that I love so much. I didn't realize that is how this movie is known, as that clip of him on YouTube. I'm like, okay, great.
And they let him use his voice in this too. It's not like Saturn 3 where he was dubbed over. So I was kind of,
Oh yeah.
when I seen Harvey Keitel this movie, I was waiting for, the other voice to come in because I wasn't sure quite at what time, because was Blue Collar before Saturn 3?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was. I think that was 70s and Saturn 3 was 80s. So
Oh, Saturn
I,
3 is so much fun.
it is very fun, but it seems so odd that voice coming out of that mouth, and every
Oh
time
yeah.
it just
When his voice is, I mean, when Last Temptation of Christ came out, nobody could stop talking about Harvey Keitel because of his accent when he's supposed to be an ancient Israelite. It's like, okay, yeah, but he's got the Harvey Keitel voice. It's like, all right, yeah, cool.
he's just south of Italy, south of Jerusalem, I guess.
Yeah, I
Just
guess so. South Bronx. Yeah.
South Bronx, Jerusalem for sure. Like the whole thing with the house of ill repute, we'll call it. I
Yes.
guess you know the biggest thing I didn't like about the film is, and not even that. It's kind of hard to want these guys to be better because they're such assholes until they get to, even when they get to the whorehouse. And but the women trying to make him better in a way by asking them, what their issues is and blah 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 blah. Like I really don't want redemption for these men at this point, and
No.
so that's the biggest thing that takes me out of it. I would rather have like them go to the whorehouse and then possibly go somewhere else, and maybe one of them get critically injured from their actions. I don't know. I want bad something bad to happen to one of them. And I think the frying pan over the head in the book would have been like, hey, Louis Jordan comes home, and then his wife finally gets sick of him and just clonks him over the head, or possibly shoots him in the chest. I don't know, man. I just needed something like that.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. If they had lost a guy with each place they went to, and by the end it's just like Frank Langella and Harvey Keitel together, or like maybe even do like the David Dukes and Craig Wasson characters, the two that you think would be the first to go.
Yeah, make this a dark comedy like that.
Yeah,
make this
yeah.
film and make it very bad things, and then
Oh God, yes.
I would be all over this
Because those guys deserve very bad things to happen to them. Yes.
if severe things happen to these men throughout the film, and not just, hey, my wife threw me out. That's like the most severe thing. And he's just gonna come home that same night like nothing happened. So it just that's my biggest takeaway for this film is that you want bad things to happen to these men, but it doesn't really happen. So if this was a dark comedy, I think I would have enjoyed my time with it a little bit more.
I honestly expected like Frank Langella is probably the guy we actually spend the most time with when I look at the movie, because you get the long scene of him coming home, hearing the note that his wife left him, or soon to be ex-wife left him. And when he's the guy that sets them up with the brothel and pays for everything too, which isn't cheap even in 1986 dollars. And then he goes off with Teen C, the Jennifer Jason Leigh character, and she paints his face and stuff. And he looks like he's very smug and very just like, I'm above it all now, when he comes back down and he's not wearing a shirt, just wearing suspenders, pants, and all this almost like glam rock makeup on him and like a handprint on his chest. And I'm like, I can see him becoming like oh God, the William H. Macy of this group. I can see him like leaving the house and coming back with a gun and killing everyone. He just is so off the reservation. And I'm like, does nobody else see this? Like, he seems like he is not in a state of bliss. It seems like he's in a state of psychosis.
Yeah, but at the same time, you do get that scene of him going home and nothing being there. So it's almost like, not that I'm not gonna use the word, hey, he's free now, but you know what? He is free in a sense to say he's not attached to anything now. So why not go have a night of debauchery where a girl's gonna paint my body and I'm gonna dance around like an asshole with this girl, and so I'll take it from his character.
Oh yeah.
Not so much these other dudes.
No, but like, I think he's as close to a protagonist as we get.
Uh-huh.
But then you get like the weird shit with Harvey Keitel where he needs the prostitute to marry him and all. I'm like, please just stop with this stuff. I don't need this stuff at all. Like, this movie might have been better for me without the Keitel character, but then there are those weird little moments that I really like, talking more about Langella, or talking about the Anne Wedgeworth character, Wentworth, that she's got the little ventriloquist doll with her the whole time. I'm like, this is just kind of fucked up. I'm not sure where this is coming from, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. It's just that's like the neatest things to me, like the odd quirks with the prostitutes, and it just it lessens these men's drives to be pricks. So when they kind of get the better of them, I'm glad this part of the film was written outside the book, because it really, if that was it, that's where the story stops, him getting hit over the head with the frying pan. Although I do want him to feel some kind of pain. The other guys wouldn't learn nothing, and they're kind of learn stuff through through these women, and not that I'm rooting for them to be good or anything. It's just, you know what, it adds something to this machismo that we really don't get in the next movie. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Well, and the machismo's still there for me, like especially when Roy Schneider's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna stick around here." Then he eventually leaves, and that whole weird thing of him walking across the bridge, and then like the other guys just happen to be there and join him. I'm like, okay, I thought you all took off in like the wedding party, but and it's he's not even wearing the same outfit. So I'm like, is this like a later day, later time that he just happens to be walking down this bridge and all the guys join him? That seemed very out of place to me. And if anything, I think he's wearing the same outfit that he was in that opening monologue that I talked about.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't need the Ocean's 11 ending. That was
That was strange, right? Yeah. And then that it's just him and Wasson and Dukes again. I'm like, okay, yeah, these are the three people I would not have expected to end up, like Scheider starts the movie, but he kind of gets lost a little bit throughout it, but he will pop up again. And yeah, he's just, oh my God, is he posturing so much?
yeah, that's what it's all about though. This whole movie is posturing and,
Oh,
you know, being pigheaded and just, all the above. And again, I liked it because of the actors that were in it. It wasn't these actors. I would have turned this off in about 10 minutes.
oh yeah.
Just but
Yeah. Yeah. They
yeah,
really do save it.
yeah. Thanks for bringing this to the table, there, brother. I appreciate that because I wouldn't have watched it otherwise. I would never heard of it otherwise. So, oh my gosh. Any final thoughts on this film, The Men's Club?
No, other than it seems like a very strange time capsule. Other than seeing that poster image, I had never read about this movie, heard of it really before. So it was an interesting thing to just, kind of run across and be like, holy shit, this is just such a strange film, especially like I said, 86, but you forget just how long it took for women to get a lot of the same rights that they're trying to have taken away now. It's like, this is amazing that these guys were these macho assholes so much in 86. I was there. I don't remember it being that bad, but apparently it was.
Yeah, it's cruel, it's pompous, but at the same time, the women in the end kind of get the better of these fucking group of stooges. So
Oh, yeah.
it makes you want to keep watching it, and these actors make you want to keep watching it. So I'd say for me it's a light recommend to check it out. And it's apparently streaming on Prime. I swear it wasn't as of a couple weeks ago, but apparently it is now. At MGM Plus, if you get it, it's streaming on there. So if you got either one of those things, I'd say go check it out because yeah.
Yeah. To your point, I don't even know if this was ever released on DVD. I don't think it's out on Blu-ray.
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
could I could see somebody like Kino picking this up though and putting something out though.
That'd be nice, especially to have somebody who knows more about Leonard Michaels, more about Peter Madak. I mean, Madak's still with us. He'd be perfect to do some commentary for it. And I'm trying to think. We've got a few of these actors are still with us as well, so be great to hear from them or Jennifer Jason Lee. I think they could do a really nice deluxe set of this.
Yeah, man, I'd buy it. I'd buy it, especially the way Kino has sales, and they say, hey,
Hmm.
then they have about 25 of those a year. So I was like, I got no excuse now not to buy this. It's just
Exactly.
yeah, that's the men's club though. Like I said, a light recommend for me to check it out if you guys have it available to you. But next up, we go further into the toxicity of the male psyche within the company of men. Right to this trailer. In the company of men from 1997. Your cheaper plot synopsis is two business executives, one an awkward misogynist, and the other recently emotionally wounded by his love interest, set out to exact revenge on the female gender by seeking out one of the most stupid thing, one of the most innocent, uncorrupted girl they could find and ruining her life. This stars Aaron Eckhart, who you know from many, many things. Thank You for Not Smoking, The Dark Knight. He's. I like this actor. Uh,
The
Matt
Core.
Malloy. Was it again? Yeah.
Yeah. Can't
Matt
forget
Malloy.
one of his best.
Yes, indeed. Matt Malloy, who I only know for a couple. I know him as a character actor. I see him in things. I just got to meet recently Denise Richards at a convention, and he's in Drop Dead Gorgeous, which is a film that I love. He's
Oh, nice. Yeah.
the creepy guy with the camcorder, filming those young girls. It's just he's a guy that shows up in things, and I always appreciate that. Stacey
It's really
Edwards.
weird
Oh,
to
sorry.
see him. Oh, sorry. I
Oh,
was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, it's really weird to see Matt Malloy in this one where he's like still clinging on to that hair. Like you know him for being bald, and you can tell in this movie, you're like 6 weeks away from being bald here. So, yeah,
It,
let's get this down before you lose it all.
it's almost part of the character, though. I think, if I think about it, real deep. You know, oh my gosh. But and actually, I didn't really recognize Stacey Edwards as Christine. Maybe you recognize her from things. I have no idea what she's in.
No, I really don't. And I was very surprised because I looked her up and I think she has her hearing. So it's very interesting. Like 1997 was still okay for a person with hearing to play a deaf woman, which I don't think would really fly these days, which is so strange. Like I don't know if we're going to go back to that anytime soon, where it's just like, oh, yeah, you can have whoever play whatever. But it was just like, oh, because she plays a very, to me, convincing deaf person in this movie.
You're not wrong because I've worked with a lot of deaf people in my time. My aunt worked for a place called the New Hope Center when I was much younger, and that worked with a lot of deaf people and a lot of mentally handicapped people. So I've worked with a lot of deaf people in my younger days, so I know the way they communicate, the way they talk, and it was pretty. It was pretty good portrayal of a deaf person, I gotta say. Yeah. Um, this is directed by a director that I recognize the name, and I've heard reputations about this person. Neil LaBute. Can you shine some light on Neil LaBute for us, Mike, at all?
Well, Neil LaBute, I know that he is he's a playwright, and this was one of his plays. I think one of his most successful plays. I think he has gone back to that as well. I actually tried to reach Mr. LaBute for something we were covering, and I'm trying to remember what it was. But yeah, this was the movie that put him in the spotlight back in 97, really put him on a whole different path in Hollywood. And really, it was not just him, it was him and Aaron Eckhart, because his first, I think, like 3 or 4 films all had Eckhart in there. I remember Your Friends and Neighbors, and I don't remember what else that he was in. And then, yeah, went on to make the most notorious remake of our age. And that, of course, is The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. So a lot of people thought LaBute had lost his freaking mind with that. I think he's recovered from it, but I couldn't tell you anything that he's done since then.
That's what I know him from. And yet, for as much as I love the 70s Wicker Man, I don't hate the new one, but it's for all the wrong reasons.
Oh yeah.
For all the wrong reasons why I like it, Like I always say, every time Nicolas Cage drop kicks a pagan, an angel gets its
Oh.
wing, this happens in that Wicker Man movie,
So good. Yeah. How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? Yeah. So
That's
good.
Yeah, that performance, it makes for a bad film, I guess. I guess you would call it, but it's still better than The Wicker Tree, okay? And I tried Wicker Tree. I couldn't get into you. But
Yeah. I wish I could remember offhand what it was that I was trying to interview LaBute about, because I was just impressed that his person actually got back to me. So, which is so rare that someone even will write back with a no. I'm like, thank you for just even acknowledging that I wrote to you. But yeah, I really wish I could remember what it was, because I don't think we've really talked about anything that he has worked on recently. So maybe he was doing some sort of like TV thing, because I think he did some TV work as well.
Okay. Yeah, but that's probably the thing I know him from is that Wicker Man remake. And
Oh yeah.
where have I heard this effing name from before? I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. The bees just going crazy.
All about the bees. Yes.
But this film itself, I could see, the playwright in it, because it kind of plays like that. Like I and I guess that aspect of I like, you know, it's just that the whole idea of these men, in the end, one of them really gets away with something. And we'll talk about that in a minute about, you know, toxic males and female doormats apparently. But
Yeah.
uh I'll let you go first, Mike. In the Company of Men, what are your thoughts on it, sir?
So I saw In the Company of Men at theater. I think it was playing at like a little art house theater, either the Main or the DFT here, Detroit Film Theater. And it definitely made a big impression on me. There were a lot of things. One of them was how freaking good Aaron Eckhart is. I know that he's supposed to also have very bad reputation. Also with Neil LaBute, also has a bad reputation from what I understand, but mostly Eckhart. And it sounds he gets to method, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I remembered things about this movie, but I didn't remember everything about this movie. I mostly remembered, more than how awful they were to the woman, or all women, but the woman in this, I just remember the racism really bothering me, and the whole thing with Keith and the big balls thing. I was just like, oh my God, that just blew my mind. And it was with great hesitation that I suggested doing this with the men's club, because I knew I was going to have to rewatch it after all these years, and I was dreading it. But that's also a great thing. I think that LaBute really did something here by making me dread this art so much.
Yeah, I can see that. Having trouble rewatching this movie because it's the first time I watched it, um, and yeah, the dialogue is very heavy. But I think that this time they were making lots of films like this. I think American Psycho was right around this time. Stuff like even younger people, The Rules of Attraction was around this time. I'm trying to think of more, but this was the time for toxic dudes to be in movies and just be douchey about it. And if I thought
No
for
douchey.
oh,
Yeah.
a film that I love, Doug Liman's Swingers. I love the film, but I recognize that the men are doing wrong things in Swingers. But it just was a time for this. But
Yeah.
this takes it to like an extreme to say, you kind of believe it in American Psycho because it's kind of like a satire. But this film kind of tells you that yeah, this is the way these guys talk, and this is almost like verbatim of what a person could do to somebody else. It
Oh
even
God.
or even somebody that's supposedly your colleague or maybe even your friend, because you know he doesn't come out too good at the end of this either, and the whole time Aaron Eckhart's character is fucking him over, along with fucking over our lady in this movie, and
Oh yeah.
yes,
And
so it's nothing positive there at all.
I mean, Eckhart is like one of the great villains in this movie. It's like, it's not like you see the machinations, it's not like you see where he's like the things that you see him doing all feel like they're coming out of this plan that he and his bro took up. And like, oh, well, this is the time where you're going to see us together. This is the time where you're going to try to go on a date and she'll be with me. Like, you see all of that. But then there's like, those are the machinations. There's also the Machiavelli on top of it, where it's like, oh, you didn't actually leave your girlfriend, or your girlfriend didn't leave you. Like all of these things where it's like, not only is he playing this game, but then he's playing a game on top of it. For him, it's all a fucking game. I think he thinks this is the biggest laugh of the century, and he's going to be knee slapping this shit up with his next batch of bros, and he's going to get laughs out of it forever. He, to me, in this movie, is one of the greatest villains that we've ever seen on screen.
Oh yeah, and it's so easy for him because he sees this girl who's incredibly nice and incredibly shy, easy target. He sees his colleague, who's this fucking rube who just got over relationship, so he's weak. He's just preying on the weak this whole time.
Oh,
It's not like you're rooting for him, but he's almost like a vulture looking to find easy prey. And he sees that in this guy, he sees that in this girl, and the vulture gets to eat in the end. It's all I'll say about that, and it's just it's
Gary,
toxic.
that is
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
Gary, that is one of the most insightful things. You call him a vulture. It's like, thinking back, there's one scene with after they hatch their plan, or they start to hatch it, like Eckhart is taller than the other guy, and I'm sorry, I just keep calling him the other guy. I'm very sorry, but he's taller than Malloy, and he's also got that huge chin, like a very like prominent heroic chin. He's not Bruce Campbell, but he's getting there.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like kind of stands over him with that chin, and you're right, he does look like a freaking vulture. There's one moment in the movie where he's like reaching his arm back, he's holding on to a door frame. I'm like, yeah, he looks like he's got freaking wings. He's gonna angel of death this other dude, and that's what he does.
And the fact that, and I didn't put this together till just now. You're talking about that, and there's that scene where homeboy takes the girl to like some kind of safari or something.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it kind of goes together in a way, like the creature looking for their prey, kind of thing. And it's just, oh my god, he's awful, and
Oh,
but he plays it so well in this film. But again, another one where you want redemption for the weak guy, but you don't really get it. It's just
no.
it hangs there.
Oh, yeah. The way this movie ends is like a slap across the face.
It's like the exact opposite of the men's club. It's like,
Oh,
you feel
yeah.
you feel like these guys might have learned something at the end of the men's club, and this one, like, yeah, this is gonna learn what disappointment was. I can tell you that, and
Oh, yeah. Nobody gets their comeuppance. Like, I guess the other guy, I guess Malloy gets the comeuppance, but
yeah.
like Eckhart gets away with it. The thing that really gets me about the movie is the way that Eckhart can move around and talk to different people, and he uses pretty much the same language, sometimes a little like thicker or less thick. Like when he bonds with the a-hole at the company that they got sent to and starts talking about the deaf lady, and they are almost instant comrades because they are tearing down somebody else and just shit talking. And I'm like, this is the world. Like the whole world is all of these Aaron Eckharts, and he can just come and go as he pleases and just make himself at home anywhere because everybody in this world is him talking shit about other people in one of the most awful ways. Just the insults when he starts doing that fucking dolphin noise and shit. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like, oh, I want to just strangle this asshole.
But there is points of realism in the film too, because there's the point where he's talking to, I guess, like some kind of manager in training, or like some kind of person in training, and the guy literally makes him. He literally makes the guy fucking whip his balls out of the desk.
Oh Jesus!
And you know what? It's that moment in the toy where U.S. Bates makes well,
Richard
Ned
Pryor.
Beatty, or no, Ned Beatty pull his pants
Oh
down in front of
yeah.
Richard Pryor just to prove to you, yeah, this is the corporate world, and this is the way it works. You got to be that guy that's willing to do things,
Hmm.
in a hard, sick way. That
Yeah.
guy was teaching the other guy how it works, and
Oh yeah.
it's a sick reality, but it's reality nonetheless, whether it's metaphorically or physically.
Oh.
You know,
Well, it was this time watching it that after that ball scene happens, I'm like, that guy was just sexually assaulted. Like
oh
what
yeah,
he had, like I didn't have words for it. Like now I look at him like, oh God, that was like a almost a rape the way that he was like, yeah, show me your balls. And then how fucking long does that shot go on? And you're just looking at Eckhart, looking at this guy's balls. And I'm like, I can't believe we're doing this shot right now. And it just holds for so long. And I'm like, wow, what a tour de force this is. And just how awful and uncomfortable I feel the entire time. Like, I can't say that I liked the film Uncut Gems, but like Uncut Gems, the way they shot that gave me a physical reaction where I just was so upset and uptight the whole time. This movie, In the Company of Men, also just gives me like a visceral reaction to it.
yeah. There is a lot of tensity, tensity is not a word, and intense stuff like that in this as well. And I get the uncut gems thing. There's parts in that film where you just feel uncomfortable, and I think it's the way the softies did it, and you know, everything about it, the way it's shot, and yeah, this thing, you are right. He was sexually assaulted, but at the same time, I'm not behind closed doors. We live at a time where Matt Lauer was a prestigious, person of the media community, and then you find out, that he had a fucking rape button in his office that would close the door, and you would never guess that, behind. I hate to use we're behind closed doors. This man was this big of a shit pig, but I'm sure it's I'm sure a lot of this is very true in the corporate world. Not metaphorically putting I mean not physically putting your balls on the table, but
Yeah.
weird stuff like this,
Oh, yeah.
happening.
The denigration, the bullying.
Oh
This
yeah,
is bullying of these people.
and I'm one of the biggest ones to say, because I've been I'm sure you've been heavy all your life. I've been heavy all my life. We grow thicker skins about certain things. And I would love to see people, hey, grow a thicker skin about certain things because you can't throw hands at everything. Because if it's real thin, you're gonna get mad about a lot of things. But that this, I think a thicker skin in this world is necessary. And again, the vulture aspect of it, him seeing her and him and whoever else really, because you only really got that one interaction with the young budding executive who's willing to do anything because the next guy might ask him to do something else entirely worse than that. You know,
Right.
and I think that was
Oh
the point.
yeah, the
Right.
sabotaging of
Oh, yeah.
Malloy's character. Oh yeah, the print was way too light. Like those things, like oh fuck, man. Like that's when you're like, oh, he's really doing all of this other stuff too. And when you look at a movie like this, it's like, okay, we've seen this story too many times now. Like I'm trying to remember if it's like 10 Things I Hate About You or one of those movies where it's like yeah, we made a bet. You were part of a bet,
Uh-huh.
innocent girl. And then, like, at the end, it always all works out where, like, the girl that was the bet goes with the guy that was betting on her or whatever. And it's like, all right, now they're happily ever after. And this just takes it and flips it right on its ear. And you're like, oh, yeah, no, this is much more of how it would have really gone if someone was a bet with someone else.
And it's fine, because in those movies, they find common ground and they find love there. So when they get to go and Heath Ledger gets together with Julia Stiles at the end of that movie, you're like, yeah, you're kind of for this, but the process getting there is like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But in this
Oh
one,
yeah.
it's fucked up, and then it gets more fucked up, and then you get the end. You get and when I got to the end, I don't want you guys to watch this movie, listeners, because it's that way. It's good. When you get to the end, the girl in question, the deaf girl, is still with Aaron Eckhart at the end of this movie, even after she finds out everything. So,
Yeah.
so
Oh.
when I say Lady Doormat, she is the doormat in this movie, and it makes me sad to
Oh.
me when you get to the end of this movie. You know.
Oh yeah, it is really something. And yeah, that end shot with him screaming at her, and then we get her POV of this madman with his mouth just open and like those mute screams. And I'm like, oh, to make him mute at the end of this, to continue to take away all of his power and all of his uh, um oh geez, what's the word I'm looking for? Um his station in life is just like, wow, that talk about being humiliated completely. But yet at the same time, I still think that he is seen as being in a better station than she is just because he's a man.
Well, that and his status, and but at the same time, you kind of wish for after she views him screaming in her face unaudibly that she'd push his fucking ass out the balcony. You want that, but you don't get that because she's that she,
No.
she's that complacent to where she knows she's been abused, she knows she's been victimized, she's continued to being victimized by her him screaming at her, although she can
Yeah.
read but she can't hear, that she's willing to stay with this fucking utter piece of human fucking
Oh,
garbage. You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just like,
And
yeah,
does she know she's the side chick? I kind of think she does.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And she's still okay with it.
and this unfortunately, I watched the Army Hammer thing. Okay, and it blew my mind the testimonies of these women talking about, oh, he abused me, and he tied me up without my permission, but at the same time your ass came back. So do I really feel pity for you that you came back to all this after complaining about all of these things? And why'd you come back? Because he took you to fancy dinners, he took you on fancy boats, and you have no backbone apparently to say, I don't need this in my life. So apparently this woman was at this point to say, I don't need it. I need this in my life. So I'm just gonna stick it out. Apparently,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And
Oof.
again, it makes me fucking sad for the female race of women that I know exist like this. That they can hear, whether they can hear or not. It makes me sad. Well, men and women, because
Oh yeah.
I've known some gay couples that have been in physically abusive relationships and just kept on staying because
Oh yeah.
took them to parties and stuff. I'm like,
You
no,
get codependent on the other person. And yeah, you just get, convince yourself that you deserve it, which is awful. It's an awful feeling to think like, oh, I deserve to be miserable, so that's why I'm staying here.
and now granted, I'm not the ace of relationship advice. I can't say that, hey, I've been in those situations because I haven't, but I know how my human brain works, and if that was me in that situation, like, no, I couldn't do it. Oh my gosh. Mike, you've rotten on us, man. That's fine. But anything else you
Yeah,
want?
not a couple of feel good movies this time.
That's
No.
okay. It's good discussion, and that's all I care about. Um, any final thoughts about In the Company of Men?
Oh man, it's not a surprise that Labute and Eckhart to varying extents, have had big careers after this. Because yeah, you just see how they handle this material, and it's really a masterclass. I talked about how the men's club was such a, here's all these monologues, and just these actors must have been, oh yeah, I want to be in this movie so I can do all these monologues. This is going to be great. Yeah, there are monologues in the company of men, but it feels much more like you're watching performances. We had all those freaking monologues in the first movie, but this one you feel like you get very cohesive performances and really get understandings of these characters, even if they're keeping you at arm's distance. Sometimes you really feel like you get to know who these men are and just how they operate, and that there are probably so many of them in the world.
This is true. I mean, this again, and you're down to two men in this film. So I think it's a more concentrated effort to say that this is how this guy works, this is how this guy works, and right from jump. And it's a real testament to Aaron Eckhart's performance, like you said. Yeah, as bad as he is, he's really amazing in this movie. Just playing this fucking nasty fucking man, who's
Yeah.
manipulative and fucking. I wouldn't even call him crazy because he's fully aware of what he's doing the whole time. He holds. There's not a point in this movie where he does not hold all the cards.
Right.
To say, I know everything's gonna go on. I know how this is gonna play out. You know, I'm gonna get with this girl, and you know what? I'm gonna fuck this girl, that girl, and that girl on the side, and she's not gonna say nothing about it. So I'm not there for the character, to say, hey, this is somebody I'm gonna look up to. But as far as like playing this manipulative douchebag, Eckhart is tops, man. I got to give it to him. So I said don't watch this movie because we gave away the ending, obviously. But you know what? If you want to watch, this type of guy, and somebody who's really great at being this type of guy, in an acting sense, it just he kills it. He
Oh
kills it
yeah.
every sense of the word. So again, light recommend for me. And you can watch this on Prime too, if you so choose to, because I think I looked for a physical release, and it was it was hard to find. I couldn't find a physical release, which it's made by Sony.
Yeah.
So
And this was still during that golden period of indie films in the 90s. Like, this is only 3 years north of Pulp Fiction, so this was still very much in that wave of films, and a lot of those are difficult to find on physical media.
yeah, I'd say go check it out, and yeah, that's about the end of this one. We'll come back and close out the show.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
It's pretty harsh.
Well, so's your coffee. You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
And he didn't even kiss me goodbye. If I could just make a decent cup of coffee, I could relax. So, relax. Why don't you try Instant Folgers? Tastes good as fresh perked. Good as fresh perked. I'll surprise Harvey for his birthday tonight.
Hey, great coffee.
It's Instant Folgers. Doesn't it taste good as fresh perked?
Better.
Better than those girls make at the office?
Honey, their coffee can't hold a candle to yours.
Instant Folgers taste good as fresh perked. Try it.
All right, Mike. Thanks for coming on again. I really appreciate you taking the time. Like I said before, and you've been a friend since I started this goddamn thing. I always contribute, my podcasting psyche, although your work ethic is exponentially better than mine. To two Mikes, you and Mike Murphy, formerly of the Badasses, Boobs and Body Counts podcast, and to literally, give me the hand. You literally gave me the handbook on podcasting. You literally gave me the handbook on podcasting. I still have the PDF file that I intend to give to a friend, actually, who's thinking about getting into the game, and I was like, well, if I can find the file, I'm going to give it to you, or I'll ask Mike for it, and it it
Yeah,
it, it does have a lot of helpful things in there.
I
So
should probably think about updating it. I mean, it's probably so out of date. I mean, I still talk about Skype in there, and unfortunately, that's about to go the way of the dodo.
well, I looked at it, recently, and it's kind of like Lloyd Kaufman's book, everything I learned about the film I learned from Toxic Avenger, or whatever it is.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of useful stuff in that book, and of course his Make Your Own Movie documentary series, his
Oh
video
yeah.
series. I take it as like that, to where a lot of stuff may be outdated, but a lot I'd say 90% of it is still very useful to a podcaster. So
Well, good. Good.
if you're friends with Mike and you want to reach out to Mike, I'm sure Mike will help you out there, and set you on the right path. And I always appreciate you put me on the right path, if that means anything to you. You
Oh,
know.
it definitely does. Yeah, no, I really respect what you do. So it's making me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Mm. But Mike, you got lots of stuff going on. I know there's lots of theme podcasts in there. So if you want to lay it all out for us, if you want to, if you
Yeah,
so want to,
sure.
go for it, man.
All right, let's see if I can remember everything here. So we just wrapped up the Life and Times of Captain Barney Miller podcast, where we talked about Barney Miller, 3 episodes of that per episode of our show. We are still doing the Shabby Detective, which is yet another Columbo podcast. And we're still doing Midnight Viewing, which is our horror anthology. We have moved on from uh, Twilight Zone and went over. We did some Night Gallery. Now we're doing Tales of the Dark Side, and it's fantastic. I've really been enjoying going back to Dark Side. It's been great. And then, yeah, I think there's a few others out there. And yeah, the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, which is one where we talk about a different Chevy Chase movie every month. And then my usual haunt is the Projection Booth, which is available like all those other shows at weirdingwaymedia.com. And yeah, hopefully find something that you enjoy.
There's a lot there. I never asked about this, but didn't you and like a bunch of other guys were gonna do commentaries for the Columbo Blu-ray set or something?
You know,
They went away, the commentaries or something?
Yeah, the commentaries did go away. I was not involved in that. I was supposed to do commentary for the second set because I missed the boat on the first set. I don't remember if I don't think I got asked to do it, but some friends of mine were like, "Oh, you should ask Mike White. He knows a lot about this." I helped out all the people that were doing the Oh no, that was the Kolchak commentaries. That did happen, and that I gave out all the scripts for. With the Columbo stuff, no, I was supposed to be in the second set, but the first set got released and without the commentaries. Something happened, I think, with Universal where they're like, no, no, you can't put commentaries on these discs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a very roundabout answer, Gary.
No, no,
I really
no.
apologize.
I thought I for some reason I thought you were involved for some reason.
Yeah, I would have if that first set kept their commentaries. I probably would have been on the second set, which was like the ABC years.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know which episode they would have given me, but I think it probably would have just been one episode.
But I can tell you that Mike has a commentary on the brand new Demolition Man disc, right? For Arrow?
Yes. Yeah, very happy with that one.
So if you guys haven't bought that, that's out there for mass consumption right now. And I suggest you go grab that and maybe have some Taco Bell and or Pizza Hut, depending on what region you're in, and
Yeah.
go enjoy that commentary that's on that massive Arrow release that's out there right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful box, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Same thing you hear from me. I have an episode recorded, but I was like 2 days old yesterday when I realized I never released the last episode of Last Call of Torchies, our Walter Hill podcast. So you will hear the undisputed episode when that comes out sometime next week, and you will hear the bonus for undisputed, which was a Charlie Band production Arena. We reviewed Arena for the bonus episode on the Legion Patreon. Please support the Legion Patreon. Hosting fees, all that stuff. It all goes to a good place. Besides that, this next show that comes up that you should hear, and I hate announcing things because stuff always happens and it comes in, but the next one that you should hear is a brand new In the Parade Way episode with John Cross, where we discuss the Parade Jam with him, Robert Dabi, and the guy's name I cannot pronounce, but he played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat film and plays a lot. Carry something.
Yeah, I wouldn't try that on a bet.
Yes, and he's in the film called The Dangerous, and this deserves a good release. Again, another one of those films deserves a good release, deserves a Vinegar Syndrome treatment, in my opinion. But we're pairing that with our VHS pick, again going back to Charlie Band again, doing Zone Troopers.
Oh, nice.
I described today as the most fun you'll have with a World War II film ever, in my opinion, because I watched it today and don't let that cover art fool you with the fuzzy dude saying he wants you, because it's just this wacky tale with the three of the guys from Transfers and Timothy Van Patten and going behind enemy lines in Italy in World War II, and they come across alien technology, and chaos ensues, and lots of Nazis get blasted, and that's always a good thing, right? Nazis get blasted by ray guns.
Oh yeah, we can still say that. We are still allowed to say that.
But yeah, that's coming up. It's always a good time with John Cross, and this is where I'll end this one. This has been your Sin Beef podcast, where if you've got beef, I've got the grinder. See you next time.